Hello Game of Thrones fans and welcome to Knight of the Blackwater. I am Ben and welcome to this first round game between Richard Walker on the left playing Targaryen Lord of the Crossing and Joe Clark who's playing Baratheon Banner of the Kraken. I do apologise for the jumping straight into the first plots. I forgot to start the camera going. And Richard Walker has flipped Summer Harvest into Adlershot Regional, something you never like to see. So, why are they just deciding who's going to go first and how that works? So, Richard's got Dany, a dupe to Viserys, and Lyrio's estate. And he's up against, I believe that's a Lordsport Shipwright, sorry about the glare, a Dragonstone Port, Moot's Armory, or Timot's Armory, sorry, and I can't remember his name, but when he has Bestow, he can kneel you when he enters a challenge, but he doesn't have any gold on him, so probably not going to be an issue this game. It looks like Clark has done this wrong, because Richard's got all his gold. So it looks like a mistake, and I've done that online. Well, I've had someone do that on a stream recently, actually, where they thought they got it right, did it wrong. I can't quite remember. Still can't remember how it works. Is it you choose to go first, and you choose to trigger Varys' riddle first? I can't remember which way it works. When it comes up in tournament, I'll quickly go and quickly get the FAQ out to make sure I do it right. So we've had a dupe Viserion played out. We've got Sejora played out. So Richard's start here is really strong, especially for a crossing deck. Really see Rygel, so Dany can do 2 challenges. We have a King's Road. Oh, Richard trying to get him to kneel out the Lordsport Shipwright by the looks of it.
No.
And Clarkson, Joe's decided not to. And Rich can sit on 3 gold. So that was a complete bluff there by Rich. I like it. So Joe's got 5 gold, plus he has the reduction for the first Bara card, which is going to be used immediately to get out Dragonstone Faithful. Always wary about picking those at the moment here for Joe, because he's got 2 strength 1 characters, which means a Fire and Blood just immediately kills them both. And it's always a fear that your board of looking quite wide and quite well protected all of a sudden comes less wide and protected. We had an Ocean Road played out there. There's Nelt and Asher to reduce Asher, and we have a Sea Bitch, no gold left. Be interesting to see if Sea Bitch actually does anything in this game.
I have no action.
So Joe says he's got no actions for challenge the start of the challenge phase. Obviously Rich, by I guess asking, Joe's basically passing. If I didn't mention before, this is round 3. This is table number 1 and both of them are currently 2 and 0.
Red Eyes Black Dragon.
So an intrigue from Sejora. Interesting Rich going for that one first. I guess he can win it fairly easily, but it's also a challenge which he's going to automatically win while Dany's standing, unless he wants to do it while Dany's standing, I guess. So that gets unopposed, because obviously the Lordsport Shipwright can't defend while Dany is standing. We can defend, but doesn't do anything. And we have 5 followers discarded for claim. And Rich is 2-0 up. Early days yet, of course. So a powerful one. Actually, sorry, I guess that's why Rich didn't do the power first, because obviously the series would be shrinking 0 because of crossing. Yeah, of course that makes sense. Joe Legos unopposed. And Rich is playing Blood of My Blood to get a Blood Rider into play. This is not a card you normally see in Targaryen decks, but it's a card whenever I see it, I'm always fairly impressed. Especially Targaryen economy is pretty good. You don't need much money, I find, in a Targaryen deck. You know, 6 gold goes a long way. And he's going to put Argo out, and also has a summer plot, so he's going to be able to stand. So this is quite. So we can get strength 6 military coming here because of the crossing on the 3rd challenge. Dany is then obviously going to make anyone -1 to defend. So even if Joe defends with both the military icons, Argo's still going to win. And then he gets to stand and defend. So that is that's going to shut Asher down. Indeed. Deep. Oh, you see, he's got quite a good hand there as well. Got Bob. Seen in flames, but no character who could use it. Joe considering his options.
What to do?
No. Side note,
Unopposed and I'll kill Dragon.
so unopposed, and the Dragonstone Faithful is killed. Obviously, technically, the wrong order because he got reactions first. Rich might have had a reaction. So Rich is on 5 power after one turn, and immediately stands Argo. So
Intrigue.
I have an intrigue for 0. I think Jay just realised his mistake because Danny's standing.
Fizzles.
Now, obviously, Rich has no gold here, so you can quite happily put Asher into a challenge and not care too much. Joe might be thinking he wants to take Dom to draw a card, because obviously you would do that with the Armory. But I think when someone's already 5 power up, you probably need to go a little bit more aggressive. So probably a power challenge, stealthing Danny with Asher, just to get in some power. That would nail out one of the dragons. And then probably call it there.
He goes back to the hand, I get Dom.
Actually, yeah, that's oh no, I was about to say it doesn't make a difference because you're taking a power for Richard, but Richard would then win Dom. Yeah, it's a bit of a tough. Richard's had a pretty awesome start there, and I think Joe's kind of snookered himself here.
I'll stop there.
And Joe's not going to do any more challenges, so I'll go back to hand.
You take Dom?
And we're on to getting ready for the second plot phase.
Card in hand?
Okay, so on to the next plot phase. And just for the time there, guys, I'd like to thank everyone who's taking the time to support me on Patreon. It's really appreciated. We're up to 7 now. Again, I need to update the graphics at the front, but I did these videos about a week or so ago. If anyone would like to support on Patreon, it is very much appreciated. It's going to help me get some new equipment, some new software, and kind of just cover some costs to go to some of these tournaments, so I can go to more tournaments and bring you some bigger ones. So next year I've got a list. I've got 2 or 3 bigger tournaments I've not been to before. I'd like to go to and take some cameras. So yes, thank you very much. If you want to help out, if you can, there's no obligation. No obligation. It's check out the description below. So we've had 2 Time of Plenty played there. So both have drawn both characters. Both players have drawn 4 cards. Joe deciding to kneel out the King's Road this time. Not really starving Rich for economy though, because just getting out an Argo would be pretty good this turn. So he gets to go to 2 challenges because of the summon plots. Joe's knelt the Ocean Road and put out a Iron Mines. Now we have seen Bob, so he could afford Bob. Whether that's worth it or not is another matter. But Bob with his Intimidate could get down a big target. The only problem is you got Argo is going to stand. We're going with Davos here for cost of 3. Probably not a bad choice, because if something goes wrong you can just choose to kill him. He comes back to hand. You haven't really lost him. And a Serene, so probably getting ready for that reset. Be interesting who it resets first. Probably right now, it would be in Joe's favour to Valor next turn. Get rid of Danny. Depends what else Rich puts out. You can save Asher. Serene will nil out anything that can nil out the dragon. Don't know, that's an interesting choice. So Rich nil out the Illyria's estate for Argo with a dupe. Yeah, okay, now Valor would not be probably the best situation. And 2 gold. So you killed Danny, and obviously Danny being dead is never a bad thing. But Rich probably is going to come out better from it on the other side. And there's 2 gold now, which means you can't just go. Every one of those characters on Joe's side of the board is Jakaris bait, which is why I might be tempted to put Bob out, because you could do the first challenge, use Davos to stealth, probably Viserion, Viserys, sorry, and then do it on a power challenge, and then forcing, and then obviously with enough nailed characters, Bob probably won't die to Jakaris. Or shouldn't die to Jakaris. So, interesting. Oh, we couldn't afford both. It had to be Asher and him, but then Asher's probably too high good target. Joe's just, yeah, this is a tough spot. Joe's probably going to have to eat Jakaris to the face. It's probably I probably got unlucky that he lost the Fiery Followers last turn, because I think I've seen a Seed of Flames in hand. And that ability just to go through and see if they do have Jakaris or not is massive. So I think this is a double power. It's a power challenge, stealthing past. Yeah, Danny and Viserion, and it does look. I think Rich has got Jakaris, or has he? Is this a dragon is no slave? No, Rich is going to oppose.
Are you in?
Yep.
Interesting. Now, I'm wondering if Rich might have a Waking the Dragon here. I've not seen Rich's deck list. But then obviously Waking the Dragon in a crossing deck. It looks like he has gone for quite a bit of standy tech. That means Danny could still take part in a challenge, draw a card, get off the table, and then Rich could potentially Valor here. So an intrigue for 3, which currently Joe can't oppose. And we get a Sebastian Selmy. So Joe, I think it looks like Joe is just full of really expensive cards. He just can't afford to get them all out. Probably safe here to do the military next, and if he kills Serene, you can still win the power challenge and get that third challenge off.
Not unopposed.
Didn't kill the Lord Portrait, right? So far, it's probably the safer one. You assume he's probably going to die at some point to Fire and Blood or something, or we've not seen any of the big locations from Rich that you would be worried about, like an Astapor. And you really want to keep Serene for that reset, I think. Definitely they're going, oh, you only got 2 characters left and one of them is Nelt. Now we've got power coming in from Ceres, which is going to be opposed. But that is claim and crossing. And Rich is going to take Dom, and this is getting out to quite a big lead now.
My challenge?
Yep.
My Dom?
Yep.
And Dom also goes to Richard. So 8-2, I think the currently is. to the third plot phase. So if you are watching this as I post up, which I believe will be Monday, I'm off to Nationals this weekend. I'm hoping to live stream, but with my experience of these big event halls, I'm not going to. I don't think it's. It hasn't happened yet. Something always seems to go wrong. So instead, I probably will be. So I probably will be recording. So do keep an eye out for those videos. So we have a wildfire into a time of plenty. So assuming that we're assuming that. Well, I was assuming Joe was going to Valor.
Save these three.
And Serene is going to die to nil Danny, which probably is sensible here. Now, this is actually quite an interesting one for Rich. You assume Sajora is going to die, but he was probably has to be for Ceres, which seems a waste as there's no attachments currently. Unless Rich got Fire and Blood in hand, that's the only reason you'd kill Viserion. Do apologise to realise I talked about the last time about stealthing Danny, but of course you can't stealth Danny, she had stealth. Doesn't anymore though. So that probably was a pretty good play there from that's pretty smart. So interesting about the assuming that he would have the Joe had gone for Valor because he got Kraken, and then he didn't. So another Lyra's estate. Does Rich now feel safe? No, so he could be Valor and Wildfire, and Wildfire worked out better there. Ooh, okay. So Drogon, so I would say this could start getting pretty brutal now. That Blood Rider tech is pretty strong. And we have Rygel. I have Drogon played out. So Danny would be a bit of a beast right now with Renowned and the stand ability, but obviously so far that's not going to be the case. So Joe collects his 4 gold.
I nearly came out this turn and I was like, I've got to do Balon.
Don't have fun with this guy, he's a monster.
Like I say, I think he's 5-0 against me at the moment. So I didn't have high hopes.
Don't
coming
talk
into
yourself
the game.
out of it.
No.
I'm not, I'm just like...
Don't face facts.
Don't face that.
So Joe just thinking about his moves here.
Oh, this is a pain in the bum. I'm a gold short, doing what I need to do.
Always the way, isn't it?
Joe just saying that he's just having a bit of a think because there's just not enough gold to do what he wants to do. So it looks like he wants to play out. I can't remember her name. So that was his wife, but going second, I'm not sure that's really going to do much because you've got to take those militaries to the face, and he's also got an Iron Mines. That's not Iron Mines, so the Iron Throne. So I think probably the Iron Throne and the Chud. It does look like he's got at least one Chud in hand. Might be a better play. So we have Lord Sport Shipwright.
This just is in effect.
We've got the Painted Table, and so this has got to be the Iron Throne next. And indeed it is. So the Iron Throne table chair combo is in full swing.
How many characters in your dead pile?
Because this says kill when 0 and this says kill when 0.
3.
So you can save from one kill, but the other kill is still trying to have effect. You can ask for a judge ruling.
Because it puts them up to 1.
Yes, but there's still a different effect that says it needs to die. It's 2 separate instances of the word to kill.
So I saw the big debate about it, but I didn't go near it.
So Rich just going to distract. There's a rules dispute on the on the table next door, where there's 2 cases of a or something being something reducing your strength to 0, killing you, and just about how saves work with that. So to Rich's challenges. So I think we're going to see 2. So we've got military stealthing past the knight, which I can't remember the name of, which then is going to be for strength, probably about 7, because I think there's quite a few dead characters. So Davos is going to oppose.
I win.
Yep.
So Davos going to take it to the face. So Davos is going to be claimed.
Oh, let's give something to discuss on the video at least.
I have an intrigue coming in from Rigel, which is opposed. I think at this point Joe's probably trying to do his best to make sure that Rich doesn't win for just massive amounts of unopposed and the crossing bonus. And so Davos has taken his claim. Argo's going to trigger to stand Jogo, who's then going to come and do a power. Power for 8. So there's 3 dead characters by the looks of that then. And that goes on oppose. So Rich is now up to 10 power. 10 power? Yeah, looks like he's just about in closing distance. And Joe's on no power.
Power stealthing Viserys.
We have a power stealthing Viserys though. Is there a Dracarys in hand this time?
To be fair, I don't think she's got too much to worry about.
This is quite close.
But I think it's quite a big thing.
Quite important.
Yeah.
Awaken the dragon.
Awaken. So there was Awaken the Dragon there.
That's probably
I'll oppose.
So Rich opposes, losing the challenge, but stopping the unopposed and Ash should be able to stand again. Now how we're looking for Dom? So Rich is currently on 10. So probably Joe's best bet now is to pass, win Dom, and take a power off Richard that way, getting down to 8, which puts him a little less close to being being further away from the other close in 1 turn.
But what they don't know whether that you seem to resolve one and not the other. You need to get this fucking White Walker's drama.
Wait a sec. Oh no, ignore me, sorry.
it's like 6 in the morning, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think Danny's right.
Okay, I'll stop that.
And Joe is decently going to pass there. Joe goes back to hand.
Okay. I have 10 for Dom, you have 12.
So I get Dom.
So
Neil that.
So Joe's drawing card reaction to Dom. And Neil's painted table to steal a power. So Joe's up to 3 power, so Rich down to 8. Just stuck in the rut here a little bit. So making so Rich now needs 7 power to win, but with Danny being able to stand and having renown, that's not beyond the realms of possibility in a turn. We have political disaster into Valor. Oh. That is crippling, because you've got to keep that Iron Mines, I'm guessing, is...
Trigger Bara, any saves?
I'll use this to
So he's saving Asher, killing the other two. Now we understand why the Fire and Blood was played, to get his character back to hand. Does kill his own Danny, but time that political disaster just right. Joe's no claim. He's got basically 3 gold to play with now because of that political disaster. Rich has got 6 gold to play with effectively. We understand now he's playing King's Roads because obviously he he's looking to not have many locations on the board post Valor, post political disaster. Quay for the Shadows brought in. And so on 2 gold. So at least the Chikara's threat's gone because all the dragons are, well, not necessarily gone, but it's less obvious because all the dragons are dead. So an Iron Mines brought out, keeping 1 to save, so Asher can at least do something. So Intrigue from Quaif, which is unopposed. Rich up to 9. That table and chair combo is gone as well. That is crippling. Victorian. And it looks like Joe's just been swamped with all his expensive characters. He just can't afford to get them all out. So he's got a melon hand as well.
How many is in your deck pile?
enough. 5.
So 5 characters in the dead pile.
Power for 8.
Power for 8. He's going to go unopposed. Flame. So Rich is now up to 11 again.
Military for 6.
And military.
Unopposed.
Unopposed. So that's going to be 12 and 13 power for Rich. And yeah, Joe's going to Iron Mines, she figured. Rich has got marched here. I think I think it's it anyway. But Joe's definitely in trouble. So we've got House Open, got Fire and Blood. Oh, is this going to be the Chikara's play? See Fire and Blood? No, he's just going to oppose. Should be no claim because it's Valor. But both players quite happily did that.
My dom.
And Richard takes Dom, so Rich's back up to 12 power, 13 power, I think, so 2 away from winning. Oh, and Joe just realised there's no claims, so Rich is now on 14. You think there's going to be an unopposed challenge, or Rich is going to win crossing, and that's going to be game. Interesting, you don't normally see political disaster out of Targ. That's a interesting player there.
That's why I didn't use the slavers, just in case you gave me a freebie.
We have trading into Khan.
You know what? I'm staring.
I assume Rich is just going to choose to go first.
Name power.
He's going to name power, collect his 3 gold.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Can Rich get out with 8, 9, 10 gold effectively Liver's Estate? 11 gold in Liver's Estates now.
Not nice, but nice.
Khal Drogo. So he's now got the renowned as well, so and sit on 5 gold.
So that's -4
So it's another summer plot. So Rich running 4 summer plots. So argue you'd assume must be a free of and must be pretty important to his plan.
Neil, Jogo,
So we have Mel brought out to Neil Drogo, but obviously can be stood because of Argo's ability. Victarion is brought out. And yeah, so the problem is you can't let that unopposed challenge go through. So it's going to stand.
There would be no sort of one goes first or anything.
So is he just going to go for the big power here? Stealth.
No, they would have stayed off at the same time. First play.
Military stealth.
So you have military stealthing Victarion. Jasher's going to block.
But I win.
Yep.
Claim Ash is going to be killed. We have another military from Khal Drogo. Unless we're buffing strength here, this is going to be the Renown's going to win the game.
I win.
Yep.
And that's
That's 15th power. So well done there to Richard. Well played. Bad luck to Joe. And thank you guys for watching. This will be round 4 going up next. Which I can't. I just edited it and I can't remember the can't remember the matchup. But I believe it's a closer one the last 2 games have been, unfortunately. But guys, yes, do come back. We've got the rest of the Aldershot Regional to go, and do check out the White Walkers channel, which Richard's part of, because they have some more games from the regional. And as always, it has been emotional.